Welcome to Sketch Buddies.
Where we learn to draw together.
This is my sketch buddy Lance, and I'm Professor Sketch-em-all.
Come along and
Join the
fun!
fun! Welcome back, Sketch Buddies. This is part 2 of our Mother's Day special. We're going to do roses again, but this is a little bit harder. Probably level 2 or 3. We're going to add the roses to a vase, okay? So the first thing I'm going to draw is kind of sketching out my base. So I'm going to do an ellipse here, like that. Okay, I'm going to leave the top open, or you can sketch it in really lightly because there's going to be stems of roses coming out of there, okay? And then I'm going to draw lines that go straight down. And then I'm going to do another ellipse over here, same as this one, and that's going to be my water. Line straight down to here. And I'm going to use that same ellipse again for the base, okay? Alright, once I have the shape down of the edges, I'm going to darken that so you can see it better on the camera. How you doing, Lance?
Good.
There's my water level. This is the top of my base, okay? All right. And then next I'm going to draw in a bunch of flowers. So maybe just for placement, I'm just gonna sketch like circles of where I want the roses to be, okay? Something that might be helpful is if you have some roses in your backyard, just cut them and then put them in the vase, and then you can have something to look at for reference. Okay, so I'm gonna have 3 there, 3 here, maybe put 1 more here. And then the stems are going to come in here. And I'm going to draw them lightly too, because I'm going to have leaves.
I would rather draw them darkly to give them more color.
So I'm going to sketch in some green leaves here. And I probably shouldn't have drawn this this lip of the thing yet, because it's kind of hanging over. Okay, and then for our stems, I'm going to darken the stems now that I know where they're going to be. Good job, Lance. And then at the base of the rose, there are these little leaves.
Like that.
Yeah, and they're kind of sharp at their points. you can draw 3 per rose. Okay, and then gonna shade in my leaves. All right. You can draw them down to the water level here. And then when I draw the stems down into the water, what's really cool is that water seems to magnify the object. So if you put the stem through the water, the part that's not in the water looks normal. But what's happening with the stem in the water is it looks bigger and it looks distorted. So something that you could do is experiment with cutting some flowers in your backyard and then sticking the stems into water. And it could be even a science project. You can see how the water magnifies it. So when I look at the scientific explanation on Google, it says, since air has an index of refraction of essentially 1 and water has an index of refraction of 1.33, the angle from which the rays of light reach your eyes is larger than the angle they would in air. This makes the angular size larger to your eyes, which makes the object look larger relative to how they would look in the air. It's a really cool effect. So when you're drawing and you
add that effect into the drawing.
Yeah, when you add this effect into your drawing,
it looks more realistic.
Exactly. Exactly, Lance. All right, so Lance, you can go ahead and start drawing your flowers.
Done that. If you've already seen Rose Part 1, you can draw the real rose.
All right, so for the roses, I'm going to do that twisty line again. like a question mark, like Lance was saying.
You could just draw circles and then color it in, or you can do this.
And then I'm gonna shade those in.
With a sort of a red color. You could use one of these red. You can use like a darker red or a really light red. If you use a lighter red, make sure to color it darker.
All right, one more over there. All right, I hope you guys had fun on this episode for Mother's Day. And when you're done with your drawings, make sure you give it to your mom. Give her a big hug. All right, we'll see you next time on Sketch Buddies.